Hey everybody, Ed from Paranormal Inc. Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast episode. Tonight's podcast episode, we are going to talk about the Devil's Tramping Ground. Yes, this is an amazing one, guys. I hope you guys like this. I did my research on it and was like, oh yeah, this definitely goes good with everything that we're doing right now. So I'm going to read it as in where I found on my research and my notes and everything else. And if there is any type of stories behind it, that is just from the stuff I found in my research that people were talking about with the Devil's Tramping Ground. So, legend says Satan himself walks circles around the barren patch of Gatham County where nothing will grow. The Devil's Tramping Ground mystery swirls around the barren spot in North Carolina. The ground is barren in the center, even the crabgrass struggles to grow. Legend says nothing can thrive on this patch in the woods of Gatham County. I'm sorry, it's Chatham County. I'm saying Gatham like it's Gotham or something. See, guys, if you don't come here for the paranormal, you come here for me not being able to read my own handwriting. So it's Chatham County. It's been this way for generations, for hundreds of years, forever, they say. This is the Devil's Tramping Ground. It sits about 10 miles south of Siler City in a swath of forest surrounding by farm fields. The clearing is about 40 feet wide. A circular path surrounds the bare soil. Satan himself, the tale goes, visited and still visits this spot regularly during the his nightly walks. Again, guys, I can't read. His nightly walks, he paces a circle considering the evils of the world. The Devil's Tramping Ground has long been part of North Carolina lore, a place where nothing will grow. Legend says Satan will visit the spot walking in a circle as he considers the evil of the world and how to destroy mankind. Other theories about the spot say it could be an alien landing zone, or perhaps there's too much salt in the soil. The mysterious spot in Chatham County, south of Siler City. Locals have been unsuccessful in trying to transplant the wiry grass to other soils. According to the Encyclopedia of North Carolina, visitors have attempted to anchor sticks and other obstacles in the barren area. But morning always finds these obstacles cleared away. The spot sits on a quiet country road in Chatham County, apparently named Devil's Tramping Ground Road. So yes, the road is named after the tramping grounds itself. So we'll move on. A recent visit to the spot found it protected behind a gate, with game cameras in the woods to keep an eye on any visitors. A local man walking his dog nearby laughed when he spoke with a reporter there to check out the Devil's Tramping Ground. But still, nothing grows on that spot. There are other theories too. It could have been a sacred site for indigenous people. Perhaps it was an alien landing zone. Maybe there's another supernatural energy affecting this place. Maybe it was just a popular party spot for generations for Chatham County teenagers who built bonfires and trampled the earth bare. What once may have been a place of suspicion has since been embraced. The spot sits along the aptly named Devil's Tramping Ground Road. Tommy Edwards and the Bluegrass Experience have a song about the site. Some say they hear the devil laugh as he walks around, so don't go near that evil spot where Satan can be found. The barren patch remains a mystery. Soil samples taken by the North Carolina Department of Agriculture show increased salt levels in the area, according to a 2006 article in the North Carolina Encyclopedia of Encyclopedia. But according to the UNC TV, more recent soil testing shows the salt content in the soil is not high enough to make it so nothing can grow. For now, the place will remain a mystery down a lonely road in rural Chatham County. They also say at night you can hear the devil as he walks. You can hear footsteps. You can hear him laugh as he considers on how he is going to destroy mankind itself. I don't know, guys. This place sounds just very evil. And again, I have an open mind and I believe that this stuff is very real. I mean, just looking at the pictures and watching stuff on YouTube or anything like that, or in the internet of the Devil's Tramping Ground, it's kind of scary. I mean, they show these cameras at night and you can hear things. A lot of people say they hear and see things. They see what looks like a giant apparition walking the circle with bright red eyes. Could it be the devil himself? Nobody will ever know. All we know is that this place is surrounded by something evil and nothing can grow there, and everything is torn down if you set something up there. So yes, and there's even signs that says the devil's tramping ground, which a little picture of Satan on it, warning people about the tramping ground. So let's go back in a little farther back. In 1956, the Charlotte Observer ran an article about the State Highway Department marking a route to make finding the devil's tramping ground easier for travelers. According to the article, for years the hollow ground was only visited by locals, but a North Carolina writer named John Hardin wrote a book about the tramping ground, drawing a wider level of fame to the spooky space. That brought a flood of sightseers to rural Chatham County in search of the place said to be held by Satan. In 1955, the State Highway Department, seeing the popularity and tourism potential, put up directional signs marking the route and labeling the tramping grounds. However, many of those signs appear to be gone today. In 1940s, scientists attempt to test the soil. Only a few years ago in our modern era, scientists were still running tests on the soil in attempts to solve the mystery. However, even back in 1946, scientists were trying to solve the mystery by conducting soil tests. W.A. Bridges' laboratory in Wilson ran tests, then still flummoxed sent samples along to Dr. I.E. Miles, director of the Soil Testing Division of North Carolina Department of Agriculture. You ever notice, guys, when we start talking about medical stuff, the words have about 45 letters in it. I don't understand why they got to make these words so big in the medical field. Tests determined that the soil was sterile, and newspapers called the mystery halfway solved. But they acknowledged even those tests did not determine why this strange circle of sterile soil exists, nor why it has persisted for centuries. Knowledge of this place of mystery dates back the years of recorded history, back to the days when indigenous tribes roamed the land before Columbus set foot upon the New World. The Devil's Tramping Ground, it seems, was sacred to the indigenous tribes. They used the spot for ceremonial rites. So they're doing ceremonial rites here. You know, what else are they doing? Did they do human sacrifices? I don't know. Though it's not clear where the newspaper sourced its information relating the mysterious circle to indigenous tribes, that theme continued throughout written history. Some legends even said treasure was buried beneath the subsoil, and its presence may be what's causing the soil to be sterile. The spot is still shrouded in mystery. In the 1930s, a great shadowy beast guards the tramping ground. Even in the 1930s, newspapers were publishing stories about this generational legend. The Chatham Record wrote, "For more than 100 years and how much longer no one apparently knows, this spot has not materially changed appearance." In the 1930s, however, a new wrinkle appeared in this story. A great black beast that chases hunters and their dogs away. The legend of the beast has seemingly not survived in more modern iterations of the tale. There is a story current of how coon and possum hunters and their dogs have been one or more of them on more than one occasion. See, guys, I can't read. Chased from the vicinity of the Devil's Tramping Ground by a ferocious beast said to resemble a black bear. In 1905, a story was released at the Carolinian newspaper entitled "Weird Tale of a Fishing Frolic." Not a fish caught, but of sights seen. The tale was written by G.W. Pascal. We visited a much greater wonder, which presents some phenomenon, which is also ascribed to his satanic majesty, and known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. There is a legend that an Indian chief is buried here, wrote Pascal, and the chief's tribe brought earth in blankets from beyond Deep River and planted in wire grass. This is probably a true story, for with my knife I dug up some of the earth in the circle, he wrote. He describes roughly 2 inches of soil being bluish, clay-like, earth that is markedly different from the soil outside the circle. So it is evident that the earth was brought here. He said treasure hunters also visited the area often. Pascal also described another nearby place known as the Devil's Track, an enormous stone which is described as hundreds of thousands of years old and obviously placed under immense layers of pressures. Yet here in it is a track such as a barefoot child would make in soft mud. In recent generations, the legend of the Devil's Tramping Ground has remained popular, but the legend of the Devil's Track is not nearly as well known. Even farther back, an article in 1882 refers more overtly to the indigenous tribes, which likely still lived in the area. He wrote that they have all superstitious bread of the place. And it was difficulty that I succeeded in getting one of them to visit the place with me for a purpose of digging into it. After getting about 3 feet and finding nothing, he was so impressed with the supernatural origin that he refused to go any further. The author compares the place to the fabled fairy walks in Ireland and says the old Norse state is not without its curiosities. In 1925, a 74-year-old man born in 1851 said his grandfather, who would likely have been born in the early 1800s or even late 1700s, said the spot looked unchanged from when he first saw it decades ago. In 1882, another article referenced people nearly 100 years old who remembered seeing the tramping ground and hearing stories of it when they were children, possibly as far back as 1780s. That would mean even settlers prior to founding of America could have been aware of this legend, and it's possible it goes back even farther. Paranormal investigator Kevin the Custodian, which I love this guy's stuff, guys. Kevin the Custodian, if you check him out on YouTube, Facebook, the dude has great footage. He is a fantastic paranormal investigator, one of my favorites. Kevin the Custodian, ghost hunter, captured a mysterious fog moving through the woods while out doing an investigation. He took a picture of what looked like someone standing in the foreground, and then someone was even behind it, and it was a mysterious smoke or a steam or a fog, like he has said. Guys, I looked at that picture, and yes, it definitely looks like someone was standing right there, and it is definitely a fog or a smoke or something that is there. The Devil's Tramping Ground is on private property. Unfortunately, many people report the owners struggling with litter and trash being left all over the ground by trespassers. Although Google lists the Devil's Tramping Ground as being open as a campground, the land is on private property, and likely due to struggles with trespassing and litter. No one is permitted to visit without permission. I mean, guys, I want to see this so bad. If anybody, I'm still trying to find out who owns the Devil's Tramping Ground. I really want to go and check this out. It's just amazing how for so many hundreds and hundreds of years, people would just know about this ground and it hasn't changed any type of way. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode with my stutteringness, because I can't read my own handwriting. You know, diabetes is slowly taking my eyesight, so it's kind of hard to squint and stuff like that. But still, I love doing this stuff for you guys. I love it. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support and everything that you do for the podcast and Paranormal Link Ohio itself. So I want you guys to have a great night, a great week. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We got to remember, guys, the ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for us to have the freedom that we have in this country today. The freedom for me to get on here and to just talk about everything paranormal. The freedom for us to wake up every day without worrying about tyranny and hate and all sorts of it's just bad. The world can be a very scary place, and at least in the United States, it's not that scary. But, guys, have a great weekend. You will hear me again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Bye, everybody.